this Collins axe was recommended to me by a friend on the channel, and it's the only hatchet that I have that has a wooden handle. I am no professional when it comes to hatchets and axes and stuff like that. I do use them on a regular basis, but as far as me telling you which one to get or which one's the best, you'll just have to decide that for yourself. I mean, we have put several hatchets on the channel here, and you can look and kind of choose for yourself as far as the results that we got from it. But I do like this one. It is the only wooden handle that I have, and for the most part I shy away from wooden handle hatchets and axes for the obvious reasons, but this one is pinned pretty good, and I expect it to last a pretty good long time, and when it breaks I'll just replace it. But on the other hand, I don't expect the Fiskars handle to ever break, or some of the other hatchets that I have and that you've seen on the channel. I don't expect those to break, but you never can tell. Anything can happen in this world that we live in. And so I really have no complaints about this. I kind of even like the idea of this handle breaking and me having to put it back together, and you know, it kind of gives you a little bit of a sense of participation in making your own tools and stuff like that. So I would say if there is any complaint that I've got about this hatchet in general, is that it's got a covering, some type of a coating that's over the head itself, and it chips off a little bit as it's being used, and if it gets wet, then the water gets under that material, whatever it is. It's almost like a varnish or something to that effect, and I'm sure they put it on there to keep it from getting rusty, but as it goes, when you work with it, it gets chipped off here and there, and when water gets under it, it tends to rust. And so that's the only drawback, and I don't mind if they rust, but I'm just pointing out one of the small deficiencies that I see, is that stuff just flakes off, and I guess it's better than not being on there at all. But you can see it's starting to discolor a little bit, and again, that's not a real knock. That's not a real negative as far as tools go. If you leave them out, they're going to rust, no question about that. But I guess that as far as complaints goes, if that's the only complaint that I have about this hatchet, then I guess that's pretty good. So at any rate, like I said, I took my wood burning pen and went around and did some artwork on it. Might be foolish to some, but I like it. Glasses on for safety. Well, this thing did pretty good today. Even took out a clay pigeon with it. So that's a pretty good day when it moves over into the world of shotguns. But it did work good. It's not quite as sharp as the Fiskars is, and I'll work on that a little bit. I'll take my stone and try to sharpen it up a little bit. And really, you don't need a hatchet to shave your hair like a pocket knife or something like that would. It's not a knife, but it still does have to be sharp enough to do its work. But a lot of that has to do not only with the blade, but also has to do with the heaviness of the working head here, and the length of the handle has something to do with that, because momentum and different stuff like that. I'm not a physics expert, but I think you can understand that. And then, just for your edification, they don't call them saw S-A-W palmettos for nothing. They will grind you up. So if you ever clearing any off, be careful. I think I told you that last time, but it's still good advice.